Hello everyone and welcome back to Space Engineers, where we are continuing our wonderful build of the base runner from Deserts of Kharak, the prequel to Homeworld. And so some progress has been made off camera. What I did was I went ahead and moved the wheel kind of inwards a little bit. I got some comments saying how far the wheels felt outwards from the body, and I felt the same. So I kind of carved them. Oh, how many blocks is this inwards? Looks like about six units inwards. And that helped a whole lot. And definitely brought the profile a little bit more in line. It doesn't look quite as flat. So that's pretty good. The wheels, in my opinion, still stick out a little too much. But I wouldn't be able to get any good effect if I made them any closer together. Then I would think the ground clearance would be a little bit of a challenge in the center there, and then also it might affect our turning. So this is about as close in as I can get on the thing, and that's about really where we are at. Now I want to try and design this turret at some point. It does have a fairly decent sized turret on the side here, but it's like a double barrel thing with covering and stuff. So I tried putting two small ship turrets on there, and as you can see, one, I don't like the fact that they're looking around, and I plan on locking them so they always kind of just face forward. But it's also quite not big enough. It's just not a big enough gun piece compared to the model on the game. So we're gonna have to fix that. Bunch of sculpting still to do on the base armor, and then of course we'll be adding details after that. There's a bunch of little transitional things to add. If you guys missed the last episode, I'll go ahead and show you how it performs driving. I did add a little side door, as I'm going to need that to get on the inside eventually once it's all sealed off. So we'll go ahead and unpark it. Did mess with the tire settings a little bit, as we just lost one. Hold on. Okay, that was weird. It ran over a little piece of metal that I cut off earlier, and that was enough force to just break it outright. It's not very good. Let me turn off mirror here, so. Alright, and the things I have to do to try and get wheels to work is a little annoying. I don't like the whole, I have to dig a hole underneath the ground just so the wheel has room to spawn. But, oh well, that's something we just have to do. Let me bring up the menu here, increase the radius so that it is much quicker to do so. And then we can just voxel out a little pothole. There we go, and that should be enough room for this thing to just spawn a wheel. Alright. That's what I had to do when I was moving all these wheels around. I had to make little holes, copy the vehicle over, or just drive out of it, kind of depending on how big the hole I made was. And now I have to copy all the suspension settings again. So 100% power, we want 30% friction, 20% dampening. I'm sitting at 10% strength, height offset being pretty much all the way down, suspension travel all the way up, and speed limit I keep around 120. And now I just need to figure out which is the new wheel. Is it this one? Nope. Is it number 10? No. Is it this? Yes, it's this one. Okay. I could tell because I have the return to center set really low, so it doesn't become really jerky. So let's turn off the parking brake. Just drive forward here. We should be able to clear that little hole. And things are working now. There we go. Something I do want to also work on is getting the lights to actually not be so blinding and completely ridiculous. I mean, we have so many lights in that small area. So I would like to get that straightened out at some point as well, just so it's just a little less dim. So we can easily scale up this little hill, I believe. So if we just go forward, our suspension does work a little bit for us. You know, the ride can be a little bumpy in areas when we do lose tires, and I had to be careful not to hit too many trees, as that could easily kind of break something. Yay for autosave. Unless the whole thing snapped in half, and then bad autosave. Alright. And there we have it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pretty much just start working on the outside, armor some more, and getting it pretty much finished up this episode. Maybe part of the upper hangar door, because that would be much easier than this back hatch here. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and hop right into a speed build and see how far we get within an hour or so. So here we go. Alright everyone, so after a bit of time, I have finished kind of working on the outside here. So a lot of the major armor plating is complete. There's some detail areas to go back in and add other items than just the normal hull blocks. Like, we'll be making a lot of it look similar to what we have right here. And trying to break up textures and things, but I'm going to be doing that in between episodes rather than on camera. But the overall shape is finished. So we have kind of the design all laid out. We have the overall shape carved, even a little bit of the undercarriage. These were supposed to be kind of representing like the actual shocks that would be here, but obviously are not. So it's a little thin, but I might be able to bulk it up a little bit just so it looks a little bit more hefty and industrial. Hopefully the colors, once this thing is all painted, the colors will help kind of break some surfaces apart, so you'll be able to see kind of more of the detail from afar rather than getting right up on it. It looks good. Plenty of space back here. We have two little hangar doors. Not because that is correct, it's technically one big door, but the hangar blocks that I have aren't really long enough to do a door, one solid door of this size, and so that's why I have two, which is fine. Just fit smaller drones, and this vehicle does have the capability of launching drones eventually, so that's something I want to keep in mind. Back here there's going to be a little helipad for things to land on and just snap to the top if that's something you want to do. I took off the main turrets here, and I'll probably be building an actual crewed version, so that's something to look forward to. I just didn't like the other way it was turning out. It just didn't look to scale, so this one obviously is going to be a little bit bigger and a little bit more powerful in doing so. On the inside, right beneath these hangar doors, I went ahead and added a little floor here, and this is technically the hangar bay for the little drones. We'll be making little parking areas up on these little ledges so that we can keep a lot of this area clear for entry and exit. And then down below there's still plenty of headroom. We're going to have a floor down here, some storage, things like that. This back area is kind of a rover storage, so you can launch out a little LAV from this vehicle to go scout or what have you. Maybe I'll end up making the small attack vehicle from the game as well to go in the back. All this area is going to be crew quarters. Down there is going to be like the main power reactor kind of right in front of the engine bay, and that's pretty much where we're at right now. So if you guys enjoy the video, feel free to subscribe to my channel. If you're new, go ahead and hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you all in the next episode.